North of Coverheim is a kingdom of pure emerald light. Envern, a city said to be so holy it draws its power from the bliss, a realm full of light matter. Deep within the kingdom of Envern is a cathedral guarded by the realm's strongest priests and paladins. Deep within the structure are two hammers. The hammers are said to contain the light and darkness of the bliss, the hammer of life and the hammer of shadows. Legend said that the bearer of the hammers could control the power of life and death, forged weapons solely designed to seal away the armies of the bliss. Legends tell of a tale that the war between heaven and hell had erupted a new in-between, a light matter that was created by the tears of heaven and the blood of hell. This realm devoured heaven and hell, thus leaving nothing behind. As the bliss fed on the spirit realms, it grew in hopes to manifest into the living realm. It horrified the land so much that enemies became allies to fight off the bliss. It became apparent that the bliss had grown so much in power, it started to manifest the angels and demons into a new breed known as the Angions. This breed reaped the lands of light and dark. The Angions sought out to devour the realms of their balance. Lands were left with nothing but ash and decay. The unbalanced left some towns in eternal darkness, whilst others in an eternal burning light. Soon the world would cease and be consumed by the bliss. The people cried to the gods for help, however none answered. That was until the tormented god of death and life arose. This god was ancient, dating back to the birth of the realms, much different than the other gods. This god existed when the start of the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth rose. This god was known to be the balance of the living and the keeper of the dead. However, the other gods feared its power so much, they banished it from existence. This left room for minor gods of life and death. With the cry of the world at its feet, the bliss's actions managed to rebirth the god back into existence. This god was birthed as a child with a mark on its face. When the child was born, it had no memory of what it was. However, the encounter with the bliss revamped the god's memories, therefore aging the child to an adult. This child soon realized that it was not meant to fight off the bliss as it was too strong. Instead, the god ascended to its true form. In doing such, it died, only to be able to talk to those it chose. With the bliss almost at its manifestation, the god forged two hammers, the hammer of life and the hammer of shadows. Through the god's last efforts, it sacrificed and embedded its being into these hammers. The hammers were gifted to two kings, the king of at a time a small kingdom called Envern. This was the carrier of the hammer of life. The second hammer was gifted to the kingdom in the mountain called Coverheim. This was the home of the hammer of shadows. However, the price of bearing one of these hammers alone is death after contracting with a weapon. However, if one was to bear both hammers, it is said that the bearer would be gifted immortality. The two kings fought together with the other kingdoms. Side by side, they vanquished the Angions and sealed away the bliss. After sealing away the bliss, the contract of the two kings and the hammers were finished. This left both kingdoms kingless. After some time and rebuilding, the heirs were crowned. The realm and the world started to be given life again. However, some parts were so damaged they were unredeemable. These lands were forever stained an ashy gray landscape. After some time, the kings of Coverheim and Envern agreed that the hammers be sealed away, for the power and the price to pay should never be used again. So they faked the destruction of the hammers and sent news across the lands. However, the hammers were actually sealed away within the cathedral of Envern, guarded by the holiest and strongest priests and paladins, never to see the light or another hands again. This was primarily to ensure that the hammers would keep the bliss in prison for years to come.